Ordinary shares, what is the problem in valuation of the shares? The problem is that you don't have the amount of interest which is constant over the years, isn't it? For example, the amount of interest it will pay, it is not the same amount. Moreover, the in case of equity shareholders, you know that the company is also return part, and sometimes they don't give you the dividend. So all those kind of uncertainties are there. So it is not easy to calculate the valuation of ordinary share as you have been doing for your bonds and all. Okay, where the dividend was pretty sure to get. So in this case, what we are going to do is use the dividend discount model. Write the heading dividend discount model. So in this case, whatever principle you have been applying in case of calculation of dividend, you are going to apply the same thing, valuation in case of shares. Only thing is, in this case, you have to know that the amount of interest which you are getting over the your shares, it keeps on changing. Also, there are other risks involved. Okay, sometimes you may get a higher growth rate. Sometimes the value of the share may be less. That type of fluctuation will be there. Okay. So cash flow in this case becomes very uncertain. There may be capital gain in some year, capital loss in some year. So when you are doing the valuation of the share, in this case, you have to take into account all these various points. Okay. So suppose you are a shareholders. So now you are purchasing a share for a certain amount. Okay, then are you keeping it for a perpetual year? No. After 2 3 years, you are again selling it, isn't it? Suppose you have kept a share for 3 years and again you are selling it. So what is your earning? It is your interest you are getting for 3 years. After that, at the end, when you are selling the share to some new buyer, whatever redemption value you are getting, that becomes your total earning. Though it is not like the bond, but you don't keep it for infinite period of time. You as a shareholder, whenever you see that the market price is increasing after 3 4 years or maybe 10 years 20 years, again you are selling, again the new buyer is again purchasing it with the same expectation, isn't it? Again he is going to get a stream of interest income, and again he is going to sell it. Again that last year income is going to be his redemption value. So though it is not exactly like the bond, but the stream of income flow acts very much like the bond valuation. Okay. So you, in this case, if you are doing the valuation of bond as whatever you are doing, calculating the dividend, then the redemption value, you can follow the same general principle in case of calculating this future share prices as well. And this is what we are going to do here. Okay. So the value of a share, in the same way, we can interpret as the present value of its future stream of income it is going to yield. Okay. So let us start with single period valuation. Right from here, single period valuation. Okay. So right, in this case, you write it will be the present value of a share will be given as present value of a share, within bracket you write P0 will be given as the present value of the expected dividend per share, present value of the expected dividend per share plus the capital gain or loss, plus the capital gain or loss at the end when the share is sold. At the end when the share is sold.
Can you repeat?
So we'll carry on. Right from here. The expected growth. Okay. The expected growth in share. In share price Right. Spread. I repeat, the expected growth in share price, let it be G. So your P1 will be your growth of the share price for 1 year. Just the compounding growth rate. This is my equation 1. So from this I get your P0, okay, which is your dividend you are going to get, plus at the end of 1 year you are going to get the value here discounted at I%. This is your present value of the share. What is your P1? This is your dividend, plus in case of P1 I am just inserting this part. So this is your P0 growth rate whole divided by 1 plus I. This is my equation 2. Just have inserted this in place of this. Simplifying, okay, I move on. Simplifying equation 2. Simplifying equation 2, I'll get P0. I get P0. This is your plus P0I minus this is my P0. Then the share price equal to this is my dividend for the first year. I rewrite it as cancelling this out. Your P0 I minus G is equal to your dividend for the first year. So from this I get the valuation of the share as P0 can be given as your dividend in the first year whole divided by your rate of return minus the growth rate. My equation 3. Done. Agni, you only respond because Aman is silent today. Audio not working. Sanya, I'll go to the PPT and see one question is there perhaps. Single valuation. Solve this. Suppose single period valuation, just the one you did now. Okay. Suppose he is expecting the share price to pay a dividend of 2 next year, and then he will sell the share. Expected price is 21 at the end of the year. So if the rate of return is 15%, how much should you pay for the share now at present? Calculate. What is the maximum price you should pay on this share at present? What answer? Yes, good friend. Agni got? Okay. Agni, at least can talk.
Audible.
How it is done? Your P0 equal to, this is your 2 plus this is your 21 discounted at 15%. So that gives you as 23. 23 divided by 1.15 gives you 20. Got it, Agni? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
See?
Audible. No.
You can say the PPT, I guess. So coming to this is single period valuation. So after calculation, okay, if you find that the present value is more than the market price, then it is known as, this is how you understand overvalued or undervalued share. So if the market price, after you have calculated the present value, if you find at present the market value of the share is less than the present value, then the share is undervalued, it is undervalued share. But after calculating the present value, if you see that the market price is more than that, then it is a overvalued share. Okay. So this is how you will know whether the share is overvalued or undervalued for a particular period of time, because it should always be equal to the present value. Okay. So when you are calculating the present value of the share, it should always match your market value. If there is any disequilibrium, then if there is undervaluation or overvaluation of the share. Okay. So this already we have done, and you know the stream of income is your summation of the rate of return from the dividend as well as the growth rate. Now it is multi-period valuation, then how to proceed. So write multi-period valuation. So that means if your N is extending over a long period of time. Like in this case, the time period N approaches infinite or infinity, you can write infinity, which will make the present value of the future price, which will make the present value of the future price approach zero. Make the present value of the future price approach zero. So let us continue with this. We were here, equation 3. We'll continue with multi-period compounding with this. This was for a single period valuation. Okay. So we continue with this with multi-period compounding. Right, multi-period compounding. So we are just extending equation 3, to multi-period. Okay. So you have P0 P0 is equal to your dividend for year 1 discounted for the first year. Same way, dividend for year 2 discounted for the second year. And your last year continues. Last year it is your dividend for year N. It's dividend, okay? Writing is breaking. Dividend for the nth year. Wait, I have, oh, just a minute, I have the pen with it. So it is dividend for the year N. Yes. This is plus, this is your P N whole divided by 1 plus I to the power N. So this is equal to your P0 equal to, we take the summation of your dividend T discounted at I for T years, where your T is changing from 1 to N, minus this is your Pn divided by 1 plus I to the power N. Multi-period compounding, this is my equation 4. Equation 4. If you are finished, just let me know. We'll move on. Done. Minus or plus? Plus. Then we move on. So as n approaches infinite, the present value of future will become 0. This is what we will see here. So your this is, you can see P0 equal to your dividend. You can directly write here. We already have taken the summation. So this is your summation of this is your dividend T1 plus I to the power T. So your T changing from 1 to n equal to infinite. This is my equation 5. This is for valuation on your n becomes infinite, n number of years. Okay. Can you see that PPT again? Yes. So we'll continue. Solve this. Suppose the price of a share today is how much? 20, and it is expected to increase at an annual rate of 5%. Opportunity cost is 15. What will be the price of the share if it were held for 5 years? Calculate. It is held for 5 years by you. What will be the present value of the share? At present, the price is 20. Okay. Expected to increase at an annual rate of 5%. Opportunity cost is 15%. You are holding the share for 5 years. What should be the value? 12.69, no? It has a dividend of. Did you get the answer? Dividend is 2 years. That information. Dividend is 2. It has a dividend payout of 2. Yes. And that dividend is growing at 5%. Okay. Dividend is growing at 5%. This session will get log out. Again, we'll join back. So, did you solve? It will be your present value of the share will be your 2 is the dividend. Okay. First year discounted at 15%. Second year it is growing at 5%. Isn't it? So it is 2.10. Again discounted at 15% from the second year. Growing at 2%. Third year it is 2.21. Discounted for the third year. Continue. Same way you have to do for 5 years. Find how much it will be for 5 years. Then you have your last year value, which is your 20, which is growing at 5% for 5 years. This has to be discounted at 15% from the fifth year. This is your total valuation. This is 2.32 and this is 2.43. Answer is 20, correct. So this is your 20. Yes. So we move on. So see